Can you believe that when mathematics first started, girls were not allowed to learn maths? It was strictly for boys. So they felt at that time, in the olden days, that they should never expose girls to do mathematics.
Hello again. You are welcome to this channel. You are welcome. I thank you very much for always supporting, always tuning in, always trying to find out what we have for today. I really appreciate your coming in to like, to share, to comment, to subscribe, to share the video with others. Thank you, and thank you once again. Today I've got I'm looking for words, actually. I'm always short of words when I'm trying to introduce amazing people on this channel. And she is my aunt, is with all honor. I have a lovely aunt, my mom's sister. So when I say my aunt, I don't just mean aunt like, okay, someone who is older. No, she is my aunt, as in we've got the same blood flowing in our veins. So as she is, I call her my professor of mathematics. And she's going to be talking to us today about demystifying mathematics. So we know there are children who would, from a very young age, they don't just like numbers. Why do they not like numbers? Is it a general thing? Is it a misconception? Is it an environment thing? Is it a genetic thing? I don't know. So she's here to talk to us about it. And I will be introducing on the screen now my own aunt, my own auntie called Dr. Adedayo. You are welcome, Ma. Thank you very much for honoring the invitation.
Thank you very much, Wumi. I'm happy to be here and to share from my wealth of experience about how to help students with mathematics. Yeah. I've been teaching maths at all levels. I used to have a tutorial for children that were in primary school. I have taught maths in various federal government colleges in Nigeria, from New Busa, Queen's College, Ilorin, so many. Then I've also taught at tertiary institutions. I was based basically at Federal College of Education, Akoka, in the maths department there. And then I taught maths, I taught statistics, and other courses of tertiary mathematics. Apart from that, I've also taught in the universities. I taught at Covenant University, where I taught statistics, quantitative analysis, anything quantitative. Similarly, at Landmark University, where I was in the Department of Industrial Maths. I've also taught at Distance Learning Institute, University of Lagos, for many years, and National Open University, as well as Lagos State University campus at Agege. I thank God for the wealth of experience that God gave me to be able to teach. I hold a PhD, as you have said, with interest in maths education, a researcher on how to help students to know maths at various levels, especially non-maths majors in higher institutions. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. I'm retired, but not tired. I'm still busy helping students here and there.
Yes. Retired, but not tired to refire. Okay, thank you, Ma. Thank you very much, Ma, for introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about your journey so far. So you've actually helped me tick a box there. I don't need to ask you, could you please introduce yourself and your journey so far? So yes, you're the right person to talk about mathematics because you've been there, you've done that, and we are here to learn from you, Ma. Thank you very much for spending time with us. Now, that takes me to my next question, which is, what is mathematics all about? I know people call it different things in different parts of the world, but mathematics as a subject, what is it all about? Can you please tell us?
Well, mathematics is a science that deals with numbers, quantity, and space. When you talk about number, from elementary school, they do numeracy or arithmetic, as we call it in Nigeria, that deals with ability to count, ability to add and subtract simple numbers, ability to do some little estimation that will be useful in everyday life. Mathematics is a very useful it's a very useful subject, which if taught to a child right from nursery school, it will help the child to be able to cope with the challenges of the world, because maths is used basically in every area of life. You are carrying a cup of water, you want to know the quantity of water there, even from childhood. You want to know the weights. Somebody gives you a packet of cornflakes, you want to know the weight there in grams. All these things are length. You can estimate weight. If you carry something, you can say, oh, this is 250 grams or whatever, because of your knowledge of mathematics. Not only that, you are able to do some buying and selling. When you grow up, you go to markets to help your mommy to do some shopping. You must be able to estimate the cost. You must be able to optimize your spending. You must be able to know when they give you wrong changes. I normally as quickly estimate and see whether I can afford what is being sold. So it helps in everyday life. But unfortunately, this mathematics that is very useful in life is a subject that is feared, that is hated, that makes students to be anxious, that they don't want to see on the curriculum. And whether children like it or not, it features prominently in their curriculum right from young age. So this mathematics is a very, very important subject. It helps you to be able to assess volume. We make use of these areas. And you know, in mathematics, you have various sections. You have an arithmetic, you have trigonometry in the higher institutions, higher schooling from secondary school upward. In fact, it features in from junior school, from primary school, because you want to see the doors that are in your house. You want to know their dimensions. You want to, that's geometry. You want to be able to do some other things that will help you to appreciate. You want to prepare yourself for learning science and other subjects in order to be ready for your future career. Whether you are in the arts or commercial or in the sciences, everybody needs mathematics. So that is basically a subject that features in the curriculum at all levels, and which students hate, or they love to hate, or they love to fear. That is mathematics for you.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ma. Exactly. Mathematics is like the foundation of everything in life. Everything in life. Even, people who are cooking, you want to know how many spoons of salt, or, well, not spoons of salt. I don't know what kind of food dish you cook that you put spoons of
The
salt.
quantity of
You know
salt.
what I mean? Exactly. You want to know. It's everything's about counting. Everything is about numbers, and it's the basic foundation. Thank you very much, Ma, for throwing more light on that. So we of course know there are misconceptions. So what are the misconceptions about the almighty mathematics as a subject?
Right from the ancient times, there have been some misconceptions about mathematics. Can you believe that when mathematics first started, girls were not allowed to learn maths? It was strictly for boys. So they felt at that time, in the olden days, that they should never expose girls to do mathematics. Otherwise, it will conflict the thing they should do in the future with their future work as housewives, as mothers. Whereas mathematics will help a mother to perform better. So that's one of the misconceptions. Then another misconception is that students feel it is a very hard subject. They hate it. There's hatred for mathematics. They feel that some children feel that no matter what you do, they can never know you. No, you can do all things. You can know if you are well taught. So that negative attitude towards mathematics is a great conception about it. Then another conception they have is they cannot see the relevance in their day-to-day living. Now, why is somebody bothering me with all this sine theta, cosine theta? Or why am I bothered with volume? They have that misconception that is not useful in everyday life. Then, unfortunately, some people believe too much of mathematics can make somebody to be mad. No, it is not true. You cannot be mad with too much mathematics. If you learn at the rate that your brain can take, you can never be mad. Instead, you'll be cleverer. You'll be able to make astute judgment. You'll be able to be confident about what you are doing. Then this issue of low self-concept among students, many of them believe that no matter what you do, I can never pass maths. I remember when my children were in this federal government college, I used to travel down from Lagos to go and train them for maths. And there was one of my friend's child that was there. The teachers were saying, this girl can never know. I said, no. In the first instance, we have been created mathematically. A line of symmetry can be drawn from our head to our leg, and which will divide our body into two near perfect parts. So from creation, the Lord has put into us that innate ability. I'm talking about line of symmetry, dividing our body into equal parts. So children should not have that misconception. So when I took up this child, I trained her, I psyched her up, she changed. She even passed the maths that the teacher said, no amount of working, no amount of what you do can help about that. So students should please remove that fear from them. Let them know from the subject. Let them know that the subject is a subject created by God and that they have been created mathematically. There's a lot of things about mathematics in our everyday life. Even when you measure from your nose to your abdomen and so on, from your abdomen to your leg, there's a ratio that exists and that is constant for almost all human beings. So that misconception that no matter what, I cannot pass maths should be removed. And this is the reason why many students are involved in exam malpractices right from secondary school, especially in developing countries. So those are some of the misconceptions that people have about it. But I want to encourage everybody today, please know that mathematics is a friend. It's your friend because it's going to help you in life. It's going to guide you as to how to ensure that things are in order. Like the commentator said, you want to put some sort of, you want to make, maybe they are teaching you baking lesson in school, you have to measure. Measurement is part of capacity, and you are taught even from young age on how to use mathematics to measure, mathematics to estimate, mathematics to ensure that when you are building or you are supervising your building or you are putting paper walls in your room, you'll be able to calculate the appropriate quantity of paper that you need and you will not waste materials. So those are some of the misconceptions that people have concerning mathematics.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ma. Because I was just, as you were talking, I was thinking, what profession is it that you don't need mathematics? I've been racking my brain. Viewers, if you're out there and you know just one subject, or sorry, no, one aspect of life, just tell me one aspect of life or one profession or one job or one career or vocation where you don't need numbers and mathematics. Please write in the comment down below and you will get a prize, maybe, because I don't know. So you might know. Please tell us. Because is it cleaning? Yes, you would definitely need to know. Even if you're being paid salary, you need to know how much tax you're going to be paid. Like Dr. Adedayo said, she said, even if you go to the market, you don't want to be cheated. You know, need to know now how much change you're going to be given when you pay. So I'm just wondering what profession, what career, what vocation can anyone do in life without the use of numbers? Please write in the comment down below and I'll be glad to read your comments. Thank you very much, Ma. Now, my next question is, how can you help a student who has a bias against mathematics?
Thank you very much. When psychologists look at the domains of learning, we have the affective domain that deals with feelings, emotions, and all. Then we have the cognitive domain that deals with the brain, knowledge, understanding, ability to assimilate, and to do some mental work. Then we also have the psychomotor domain. So the first thing to do, which I normally do when I'm teaching a new class, whether at tertiary level or secondary level, is to help them with the affective domain. You have to instill in students the love for mathematics. You have to help them to remove the myths that their misconceptions they have about mathematics being a hard subject, a useless subject, a threat that comes to disturb them, that will not allow them to behave the way they want. You have to make them see its importance in everyday living. Tell them that from birth or up till death, it is you make use of mathematics. For example, you want to marry a girl, you have to calculate the probability that she will make a good wife. You are pregnant, your fertile period is determined in a mathematical manner. As the baby is growing, it's being monitored by the clinic, your weight and everything is being recorded. Everything is mathematics. When the baby grows up and is about to be born, the expected date of delivery is also calculated in a mathematical manner. They need to see that even when the baby is born, size of shoes, size of dresses, the cup that the baby will use, measurement of formula milk for the baby to take, is also done in a mathematical manner. The angle at which the mother of the child puts the breast into the mouth It's mathematical. If the angle is not well fixed, the child will have problem with sucking the breast. Not only that, as the child grows up, all the expenses you will make in ensuring that the child grows to be a responsible person, goes to elementary school, goes to secondary, university, everything is calculated in a mathematical manner. And burial rights, when the person eventually even dies, you put in some mathematics. You have to do some insurance to ensure you have enough money to pay for all the things that are connected to burial of a person. So from birth up to death, mathematics is very important. So you have to help them to remove that wrong attitude. Let them love maths in the first instance. And that is why the personality of the teacher matters. If a teacher is very harsh on the student, doesn't make them feel at home, the child will not want to learn mathematics. You know, children, right from elementary, they respect their teachers. They believe their teacher knows everything. Even when they are wrong, when parents know more than the teacher, they still believe the teacher more than the student. So a lot depends on those that are teaching mathematics. And that's why during my career as a maths educator, I ensure that all those being taught to become professional maths teachers, we train them that first, treat the affective domain, treat the misconceptions they have, put confidence in your children that, no, you can do it. I can do all that, what I call can-do syndrome. Tell them they can do it, they can learn it. It's not as difficult as they think, and that helps a lot in helping the student. Then the cognitive aspect. You see, sometimes teachers they start teaching from difficult to lower. No, you start teaching earlier concepts before they go on to master coming and the harder concepts. And how do you teach them? The psychomotor domain comes in. You need a lot of materials, and materials that they can manipulate, that they can use their hands to do, and be able to know that these things are true. For example, we just don't teach students that the total sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. We want the students to be able to discover what we call discovery approach, that the sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees, by asking them to measure and totaling it. And in the class, you ask people to tell all you their answers. From there, they will be able to see that sum of angles in a triangle goes to 180. You just don't give them ready-made. Let them see that this is possible. Then for a child exploring with interactive materials, there are some online materials that are good for helping students to learn this mathematics from basic age. Do it for them. And you know that our children love watching programs, you see. They love watching movies. They love watching online materials. So if we are advocating now in this digital age, you just don't teach a child like in the old method. Teach the children using digital tools so they'll be able to see. They love seeing things that are happening, using the material that children like right from young age. And when they see this, there's love for the subject, because they can see maybe they like all these Disney pictures, and you are using it to teach the concept of 1 + 1 = 2, the concept of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, A, B, C, D. It helps them. Then you want to teach the child using practical examples in everyday life. For example, now in the family, how many children do you have? You are teaching them. Can you count them? That's countability. You are teaching them to count numbers. How many shoes do you have? 2 children. How many shoes in total? They can count. So we need to ensure that these children use practical work, hands-on materials are available to enable them to practice. And with that, they will be able to develop their psychomotor domain, because we are not just developing cognitive learning, mental arithmetic, 1, 2 times 2, 4, 3 times 3. No, that's true. You know, these children are very curious. They want to ensure that whatever you say, they don't want to take it ready-made. Once they can discover it themselves, it enhances their learning, it improves their affective aspect towards mathematics, their emotions towards the subject. And then as a teacher, constant reassuring. You have to reassure the child, psych him up from young age, and you can do it. You are good. You are this. You see, when you say positive things to the children, to the students in your class, it gives them confidence. It stirs up their ability to learn this subject, because it dispels every fears and myths that they have concerning mathematics. So a lot depends on us, and then we need the help of parents too. Some parents are saying, maths, difficult subject. Some parents are also making it difficult because maybe in their own days, they were not so good in mathematics. Times have changed. Mathematics can easily be learned. In fact, as parents, I would suggest you also use online materials that are there. So many online. I've been seeing many materials that are being used to teach students online how to count, how to add, how to subtract, angles, whether geometry or is it trigonometry, statistics and probability. There are so many materials online that people have put there that can help students. Parents, don't mind the amount it will cost you to be able to buy materials that can help your students to develop love and knowledge of this mathematics.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ma. You've said so much. So many points. Thank you, Ma. And I really like that place where you talked about the natural application of mathematics. Like there's a joke that, oh, 2x plus 3 equals 5. Find x. This x, you have never, you keep finding x since I was young. You've been finding the x. How come you've not found that x since, you know? So there's always find x. But what is making it understandable to people that actually you could, let me read something. One of the questions from an 11 plus question, it says Ria has 10 packets of 20 biscuits. She puts three tenths of them on a plate. How many biscuits are on the plate? It's just a way of saying find x for how many are on the plate. So if you write it in a mathematical equation, yes, you know that you have an x, which is an unknown. So all of those things, but people will just, x plus y equals this and that. And then people are like, why are we finding x? Why are we finding y, for heaven's sake? But when you make it down to earth and a natural application, like mommy said, it would make more sense to them. Then they will be able to think logically about it. So thank you very much, Ma. And that reminds me what you said about that, still on that natural application. I remember when we were growing up, the first day I learned about ratio. Oh my goodness. And we were giving money in my house. I will always do ratio 5 to 4 to 3 to, because of 5 in the family. And we're like, okay, because I'm the elder, I have to take more. And so I will calculate it, like, you calculate the whole thing when you're giving money. You remember Christmas time and all that when we're younger. My younger ones will remember this. We'll always paper and pen, calculate the ratio, and say, yes, I'll have to take this. The second person takes it, the third person takes it. So it was really, that was an application. And it's just from what mommy was saying now, that just reminded me, actually, that was actually an application of ratio when I was younger. So yes, let's make it more interesting and more down to earth, rather than doing an X, Y, and Z, and you're like, okay, A plus B plus C equals something. Why not put it in words, something more appreciative to the minds of students? Now, viewers, just Dr. Adedayo has got a Facebook page called Oluranti Adedayo where you can contact her if you need tutorials. She does tutorials for higher education and students, like you heard from her testimony about someone she took who actually got an excellent result in mathematics after he or she was, had no hope in that subject. So she's someone who demystifies mathematics for students. You can contact her on her Facebook page if you want her services, and she's going to talk more about that anyway. And another thing is, Dr. Adedayo has written a lot of books in mathematics. So, Ma, could you tell us all the books you've written and how we can get them?
Okay, thank you very much. One of the ones that can be very useful to students is the problem solving in mathematics. There are some guidelines on how to solve problems that are highlighted there. And then in the same book, you have history of mathematicians and those who had challenges in maths in the past, in the earlier years, and they were not doing very well. For example, Polya is the father of problem solving. He was a dullard. The teachers were rejecting him. But by the time he got a good teacher who treated the affective domain and taught him well, he ended up becoming a doctor of mathematics, doctor of maths education. And he studied maths. He was teaching maths till he died. Somebody who was already cast off as somebody or as a nobody as far as maths is concerned. Then in that place, you also have many methods of teaching maths, the discovery method, the laboratory methods that are highlighted there. And then so many guidelines as to how you can use questioning in the class. That is problem solving in maths. The book ends with puzzles that students can do. Then I also have a book called Understanding Statistics. I discovered that many students, even from secondary school, have challenges with understanding statistics. So I had to write a book that will help not only secondary school students, but also in tertiary students on how the book contains inferential, descriptive and inferential statistics that also guide students on using it and on how to analyze their research work. Then I also have another book called Vector Analysis. Vectors was currently introduced in Nigeria, and I see that even in Britain they have it. The book is written in an elementary way that will help students to understand the concept of vectors and also how to use this, how to solve problems of vectors and the relation to practical living. You know that mathematics, I didn't mention it earlier, has two branches. We have the theoretical part, pure maths, and also we have the applied maths, where it is applied to everyday living. So in my book on vector analysis, you will see some questions on application of vectors in daily living. Then I also have another book on operation research. Operation research has a lot of things to learn that can be applied to normal day, everyday living. For example, you want to know what you do in the morning. What are the steps of things you do in the morning? You wake up. When you wake up, say your prayer, that's step 2. Then get up to go and have your bath, step 3. Eat your, wear your uniform. All these stages, they are topics in operation research that will guide you on how to live in have practical everyday living and guide you when you are building a house. The steps that you are taking matters. There are some things you need to do before others. So in knowledge of operation research, we guide you on taking the appropriate steps so that you don't put something first when it should come next. So then I also have some some questions for students to revision questions in mathematics that help students in statistics. So we're still working on some other books that will help students now that I have enough time after retirement. And God will help us in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. So do you have any last words and telling us about your tutorial initiative, Ma? What's
Yes,
the plan? Yeah.
by the grace of God, I'm starting online tutorials for students who have challenges with mathematics at various levels. So you can contact me on the Facebook to get more details about it. Then I just want to encourage students, never feel you cannot do it. You can make it. If a former dollar in maths met a good teacher who put confidence in him and he ended up having 2 doctoral in mathematics and maths education, you can do it by the grace of God. So do not fear maths. Mathematics is your friend. Mathematics is a useful tool that you can use for your daily living. Mathematics is put there not as a threat to you, not to trouble you in your educational career, but to help you so that you can be the best in the society and you can put in the best in any career of your choice. Remember, you cannot run away from mathematics. It's always there to run beside you as your good friend. So love mathematics and you will excel in it.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you for this. It's full of many nuggets to take home and for people to learn from. Thank you very much, Ma. So teachers out there, please stop making mathematics scary to people. And students, mathematics is not a barrier, but a tool for you to get to where you need to get to. Thank you very much, Ma, for
Thank
your time.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. And thank you. Have a good day
Thank
as
you.
we go. Thank you, Ma. So you've heard it all. Mathematics is a tool, not a barrier, not a hurdle. It is a tool for everyday living. And I hope that this has helped you. Remember to write a comment down below if you have any questions, if you're thinking of how to contact Dr. Adedayo, If you're thinking of, oh, I've got this question about mathematics, she is the professor. So I will say a professor, the professor of mathematics, as far as I am concerned. And when you get to know her, when you get to meet her, you will know. Even I have people who have said, if you hated math, once you come in touch with the miraculous mathematics teacher, she will definitely demystify it for you, and you will, love mathematics because she brings it. She brings the life in mathematics to you. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you like, you share, you comment, and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you share the video with someone who needs it. God bless you and have a good day. Bye bye.